upon a time, Canada almost gained its own piece of paradise. Now, obviously, getting a little jealous from its neighbor to the south, Canada was looking beyond the 49th parallel to expand its domain. More specifically, to the islands of Turks and Caicos. Turks and what? Turks and Caicos. Yeah, most people have no clue this place even exists. The islands are located right here, nested between the Bahamas and the island of Hispaniola, with a total area of only 417 square kilometers. Just to put that into perspective, that is 13.6 times the size of Prince Edward's Island, which is Canada's smallest province. With a permanent population of only 37,000, the territory is composed of 8 inhabited islands and many uninhabited islands scattered all over. It really is your average Caribbean island with beautiful white sand beaches and tropical temperatures all year around. It kind of really is the opposite of Canada. So why was Canada in the business of acquiring these beautiful scenic islands? Well, back in 1917, Sir Robert Borden, the Prime Minister of Canada at the time, he's actually the guy on the $100 bills, sent a proposal to the UK government essentially asking if Canada could integrate the islands. Borden was obviously looking for a cheap vacation during the Canadian winter, but also he was looking to expand Canada. And how many prime ministers have had the opportunity to add a new province? Well, not many, and Borden wanted to be remembered and essentially start, well, a mini Canadian empire of some sort. The islands also offer some strategic components, being near a major shipping route and close to the Panama Canal. Canada would therefore be able to build a shipping port, acting as a fueling stop for major vessels traveling on the trade route. This would essentially make a lot of money for Canada and even grow the Canadian influence in the Caribbean Sea area. Surprisingly, most locals in the Turks and Caicos, or Turks and Caicos Islanders as they are known, which really sounds weird to be completely honest, actually supported the unification with Canada. You see, before 2002, locals were not granted British citizenship, making it very difficult for these people to travel and even leave the islands. Mobility was therefore severely limited, and economically, the islands were very much suffering considerably. Very few investments were made on the islands, and many locals saw unification with Canada as an opportunity for development and prosperity for the islands. However, as we all know, the proposal was ultimately refused, and the islands remained part of the UK as we know today. Poor Canada. It just wants a small sliver of paradise. Is that really too much to ask for? Well, the UK thought so, yeah. Anyways, the Turks and Caicos and Canada continued flirting essentially with each other for the rest of the 20th century. Multiple proposals were drafted by MPs in 1974, 1986, and 2004, but ultimately failed due to immigration, banking issues, and even healthcare issues came up. 2004, however, was a weird one, since the province of Nova Scotia even offered the islands to be part of the province. Imagine Greater Nova Scotia, including tropical islands, some 2,460 kilometers away from its nearest shore. Makes lots of sense, right? This would, however, make entry much easier for the islands, since joining an existing province overcomes all the constitutional issues of joining. Becoming a full-on province, on the other hand, is slightly more complicated. Creating a new province actually requires the support of 7 provinces out of the 10, which is kind of unlikely to happen. And creating a territory is another way that the islands could enter Canada, requiring only an act by the federal government. This option is
a lot more feasible and a lot more realistic.
However, the story does not end there for the lovebirds.
In 2014, the Prime Minister of the islands, Rufus Ewing, visited Canada to explore once again the possibility of a union between the two nations. He clearly made it obvious that the islands are very much still interested in a continued relationship with Canada and desire to improve relations. The hashtag #the11th province was even trending on Twitter during this time, showing the general support for the idea even in the Canadian public. Canadians are, after all, the second largest tourist group and also the second largest minority on the islands after Americans. Canada also has a robust healthcare system that intrigues most islanders. Not to mention the many economic benefits that Canada would be able to put on the table for the islands. It would essentially create an economic boom for the Turks and Caicos. And Canada would probably take much better care of the islands than the UK. It would be treated like its own child, and actually like an only child, spoiling the islands with everything they have ever wanted. However, many Canadians think that it would not be worth it, and maybe it would even shatter the image of Canada on the international scene, given that Canada would essentially have a colony, which Canada obviously is against. It really wouldn't look good for a country that is literally praised for its liberal values.
All that we know now, however, is that there is no plans that were made, and the union between the two nations might just be a dream. Anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something new about the Turks and Caicos and the unique situation that was happening between them and Canada. Anyways, if you've liked the video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.